Hello everyone, Wysteria here. Welcome back to Bryar Rose. We're now on chapter 10, which is an ox. Long after Bryar Rose is gone, I keep the Mustang idled at the curb outside Ella's condo. My wolf's voice keeps growling inside my head. Follow, mate. God, mate. I force myself to sound calm as I reply in my mind. Bryar Rose is fine. Did you see her take on the Denari? She can handle herself. God, mate. That's a wolf thing. Male or female. We never leave our mates alone if we can help it. Closing my eyes, I keep talking to my wolf in my mind. She's not our mate. My wolf realizes and replies with an inner howl that's really loud. It makes my ears ring. Mate. I angrily thump my palm against the dashboard. This time I speak out loud. Cut it out! You're making me crazy. His wolfy voice sounds all snippy this time. Mate. This is a cluster. Bryar cannot be my mate, although there's no convincing my wolf of that fact. Something's got to be done, and at this point, there's only one guy who might be able to help me. Azizi, my adopted father. As taught me all there is to know about being a werewolf. It's also my only source of info on being a werewolf and a warden. Not that there's too much to know about that, considering the book of magic has been burned to pages. Still, what there is to learn is all in Az's head. He lives in Lucky's bar in Brooklyn, so that's where I'll go right now. I peel away from the curb with one thought. Screw the speed limit. I need to get to Lucky's. There aren't many shifters left in the world, which make Lucky's bar incredibly rare. This place is werewolf only. It doesn't take long to reach Brooklyn, park the Mustang in nearby garage, and get myself over to Lucky's. On the outside, the place doesn't look like anything special. The entrance is on a street corner with a small sign and a flight of stairs going underground. If you didn't know it was there, you might miss it. Once you get inside, though, that's when you see the difference. Everyone's eyes glow with golden light. Gold. That's a shade of shifter magic. It's what empowers us to change forms. Sure, we can tone down the shine, while either in wolf or human form. But that's only to keep regular humans from getting twitchy, or cracking out the cameras for selfies with a real magicorum, which is worse. Plus, keeping a low profile ensures that the Denari stay off our backs. Those guys kill folks with magic like nobody's business. But in places like Lucky's, we can be who we are here. Once inside, Lucky's looks the same as always. I've been coming here for years. It's dimly lit space with low ceilings. A familiar patchwork of small round tables covers the floor. Random junk has been nailed to the walls. It's all stuff from New York mostly, like old bagel flyers and bicycle wheels. The back wall is lined with bottles of booze. This time of morning, the place is relatively quiet. About a half dozen regulars hang around, drinking coffee or finishing off some booze from last night's party. I scan the floor, looking for howlers, aka humans who become werewolf groupies. As much as I complain about humans who see us as oddities for keepsakes and photos, the howlers are worse. They'll rip off their undies and chuck them at your face. Somewhere's like that, but it's not my thing. Last time the howlers found our place, I had to call in some favours with Alec to erase a bunch of memories and place terror spells by all the doors. Now any humans who get near Lucky's should freak out and run in the opposite direction, which is quite funny. I scanned the bar carefully. There are no howlers around today. Looks like Alec's spell is still holding. He is one amazing wizard. Not that I'd ever tell him that to his face. The guy's got a big enough ego as it is. The second I start crossing the floor, the room falls silent. Not again. This happens every time. It's the fact that I'm a warden. Power comes out of my pores or something. It's nice in a fight, but when I just want to find Az, it ends up being a time suck because I can't walk across a room without gathering a crowd. Someone turns around and I wince. A werewolf named Joey's here. She's someone whose attention I really don't want. Joy is pretty in a big blonde hair kind of way. I'm not sure she owns any clothing that isn't made of denim either. Wears the fashion forward as a rule, but Joy totally missed the memo. She dresses like a Bon Jovi groupie. Even worse, we have a history. There's no way I want to talk to her now, so I keep my head down and march toward the bar. Joy stays put, which is awesome. She's hanging in the corner with some other wear. Hopefully, that won't change. I hit the bar and wave over Thad, the bartender. He's a young guy with a baby face, freckles and a buzz cut. He's also new, which is why he gets the crap shifts like early morning. He strides over with an easy grin. Hey, Knox, you here to see Joy? Damn it, no. Of course, Joy only hears what Thad said, not my reply. From the corner of my eye, I see a glance in my direction. Definitely not here for Joy, I say, that a little too loudly, hoping she'll get the hint. What about Constance or Hope? Joy's from a family of 3 werewolf daughters, which is crazy rare. Her parents gave them all straight arrow names, so of course the girls turned out wild as hell. If I ever get a name, a girl cub, I'm calling her Killer or something. That way, she'll end up being a nun. Not here for the ladies. It's Azup. Azizi always hangs out in the room at the back. My parents died when I was a cub, so Az is the closest thing I have to a father. In fact, he moved here from Cairo to be near me and help. The reason? Az was a previous warden for shifters. Now that my powers are growing, he's getting weaker. There can only be one of us full steam at any point in time. These days, Az is looking and acting older, which burns me out. Yep, Az is here. He's always here. That can be a little thick sometimes. I mean, is he awake and all that? I need to talk to him, but I don't want to bug him. When I was little, I'd crawl all over Az, and we'd brawl for hours. Now he rarely shifts out of his wolf form, and that's only to use a John before going back to sleep. Oh, I get it. Yeah, he's awake. Joy starts to make her way over in my direction. No. I give that a quick wave. I'll head back. Make sure we're not disturbed. Yeah? You got it. I speed to the back door before Joy can intercept me. Sweet. That girl's like a homing beacon sometimes. Not that it isn't partly my fault. I hooked up with Joy once. We didn't get too far, but it was still a major mistake. Just 1 minute into kissing and Joy licked the side of my face. Total turn off. Before Joy can reach me, I escape through the back door, head down the cramped old hallway, and enter the third entrance on the right, Azizi's place. Az's HQ isn't much of a room. It's more of a makeshift cave. Az had the paint stripped from the walls and floor, so everything is just concrete. I find him hanging out in his wolf form per usual, curled up in the corner. Other than the chipped black paint on the bathroom door, this place is totally bare. I wish he'd let me hang up a picture or two, but that's Az. He's gone wolf. The door closes behind me with a soft click. Az opens his right eye. The iris is a milky shade of gold. Good morning, my son. Az has a deep rumble of voice that I love. It totally reminds me of happy times as a kid. Az is also one of the few shifters who can talk in his wolf form. It's a side effect of being a warden. My wolf can talk too, but I avoid it. I don't need anything else bringing attention to my powers. Morning, Az. I sit down beside him, run my fingers through the greying fur on his neck. Az is a massive wolf, like me. Sitting here next to him, I can't believe how much muscle he's lost. The guy is skin and bone. It kills me. Az sniffs the air. Something troubles you? I can smell it. Here's where I should just up and ask him about whether he's ever thought someone was his mate, but it's hard. This feels too big. The words weigh down on my tongue like stones. Instead, I find myself talking about something else that's usually too painful. I was just thinking, I don't remember my parents. I shouldn't think you do. You were only a cub when they died. It doesn't add in the part about the Denari killing them. It's been my life's mission to pay them back for that. I was placed with some random were family. They didn't want to raise someone else's cub. Then one day, you walk in, grab me, and go. How did you find me, anyway? You were from Cairo. I was in Manhattan. That couldn't have been easy. Az chuckles. You're avoiding asking me a real question. I scratch him behind his ears. I'm working up to it. How did you find me? It wasn't as hard as you might think. The warden who taught me had passed on, so I knew you were out there somewhere, a cub. I asked around, who's the biggest and blackest werewolf out there? Rumours led me to you. Ask Rue? That was the warden before Azizi. The guy was from Manchuria. You never know where the next warden will come from. By the way, the magic finds the warden. No one really knows how it chooses. Rue did the same thing. Az lets out a little cough. My chest tightens to hear it. Az gets weaker every day. He asked around for a black wolf who fought well. You and Rue? Were you guys close? I guess it's a little weird that I don't know this, but normally when we're with Az, we don't talk about the past. He doesn't like it, as a rule. Az's heavy brows pop up. What's this sudden interest in Rue? You ready to ask a real question yet? Not yet. Az gives me a milky-eyed look that says he knows I'm up to something, but he'll still play along. Rue and I were very close. Okay, so werewolf wardens find each other. But none of the others do. I mean, Alex never met his last warden, whoever that guy or girl is. They're still out there somewhere. Az sniffs, a sound that says, really? It's the noise he often makes when he's talking about the other magical races. Warlocks, fairies aren't like us. They aren't pack. True that. Werewolves are driven to attach to a group. We share power. Some mates even share thoughts. Az twitches his ears. Are you going to tell me why you're upset, my son? I rub my neck. He's right. I can't stall forever. Here's the thing. Did you ever feel a mating call? Never. Az's answer is swift and without hesitation. Not a good sign for whatever strangeness is going on with my wolf and me. Are you sure? Didn't your wolf ever get confused? Maybe it thought someone was his mate, when it wasn't even possible. No. I try another angle. What about Rue? Did his wolf ever think someone was his mate? At these words, my own wolf decides to get into the act. His growling voice echoes through my mind. Bryar, mate. I close my eyes and reply my mind. I know your opinion on this one, buddy. No, no, no. As his voice is getting more clipped, which means he's not fooling around. Rue never felt the call for a mate. As his eyes narrow. Why? Did such a thing happen to you? I rub Azai's neck, like my life depends on it. I have the option of lying right now, but that's a waste of time. Werewolves, consent, and untruth. Yeah, my wolf thinks so. With these words, my wolf decides to go berserk in my head. Bryar, yes, mate. Quiet you. Az shifts to stare directly at me. And? It's impossible. Wardens don't get mates, and even if we did, the girl my wolf picked is a human. Az's milky gaze looks and locks with mine. I don't care what she is. Do you know what I'd give for 1 hour of the feeling that you're throwing away? We're pack animals. We want cubs in a family. Don't ruin this for yourself. I get that we're pack, but going after this girl is just selfish. I could hurt her. You know wardens can't mate, and even if we could, the bonding ceremony isn't an option. Within a day after getting married, our spouses sicken and die. It's all part of being a warden. The magic finds you. It also enforces your job. If you aren't guarding the fountain, you don't get a family. Only if you do a full mating ceremony. I shake my head. If I let someone in my life, my wolf is not going to be happy until we have a mating ceremony. We can't have cubs without it. As his long tongue slides across his lips. That's his thinking face. A long pause ticks before he speaks again. Let me see your marks. Now, all wardens have marks on their backs. They're like tattoos, but they show up magically when we first get full use of powers. As we mature, they darken. Mine are hieroglyphs, and they started to appear when I was 6. The markings pulse as I get more power, and yeah, I've been feeling them more ever since I met Bryar. Still, I'm not ready for more evidence that I should enter into a doomed relationship, especially when it means Bryar could end up dead. I glare at Az. My marks are fine. Az huffs a breath, which is a version of a chuckle. In other words, you won't show me your marks, because they have changed. Again, I'd lied to him, but he sniffed it out. They've been pulsing lately, that's all. This mate thing has got me all mixed up. And so, you come to ask me for advice. Yeah, my guidance to you is this. You need to be with your mate. Hunt this girl down, make her yours. My wolf loves this idea. Yes, Bryar, mate. I'm not so convinced. Like I said, I'm not sure that's a good idea, especially for her. Az shifts his weight until he's sitting sphinx-like, on his front paws. Listen to me, cub. There are 3 wardens for magic. As of this moment, 2 of them are within a 1 mile of each other. That's unprecedented. And I'll wager the 3rd is near you too, although you don't know it yet. Whatever you think the rules are for wardens, they don't exist anymore. Our magic is changing. That's what Alex says too. He thinks that the fountain can only be found once every 2,000 years, and we're coming upon that time. Alec could be very well right. I've read the passages he translated in the book on magic. You could interpret them 10 different ways. It doesn't mean the fountain is returning or the magic is changing. Az arches his brows. And is that what you truly believe? Times like these, I wish I could lie. I don't know what to believe as. Because you know Alex speaks the truth. The fountain will return to us. Magic will change. The fact that you're finding your mate is all part of that. You must go where it leads you. I shake my head. That's not so easy. There are risks. Az lies back down, resting his muzzle on his paw. Right now, no path will be easy for you. You have 2 choices. You can follow the magic on this journey willingly, or it will drag you to its chosen destination anyway. At least if you go willingly, there will be less pain. Less pain. Nice. You came here for the truth. Just think on what I said. That's all I ask. I will, I promise. Something Bryar said pops into my mind, raising another question I posed to Az. And right now, any change of subject seems like a great idea. You still keep your contacts with the werewolf packs, yeah? I do. Do you know if there are any werewolves who are going to those teen magicorum groups run by the Denari? I know of one. She's a Red Riding Hood template. As the scent changes, whoever she is, this girl is important to him. Pass around the world. Time was some lower level Denari could make trusted. But that's over now. Make sure everyone knows. Any groups run by the Denari are unsafe. Are you certain? There's always been a core of Denari who are evil, but they stay hidden away from public. The underlings you'd meet in the League building are harmless. Many can be helpful to our kind. Not anymore. The human I was telling you about, she was in one of those groups. The leader tried to kill her. I see. Az's upper lip twists into a snarl. I'll take care of it. And I wonder what he really means by that. Az might be old, but when he's riled up, he can be a badass in a battle. Anything else? No. Thanks, Az. I give him one last scratch behind his ears. I'll be going now, and I'll be napping until later. With that, I leave Az's place and head back to the bar. My body is so wound up, it's like I could jump out of my skin. Who knows? Maybe I shall find Joy and see if her kissing skills have gotten any better. At this moment, I need a distraction. Any I can get. With that thought, my werewolf totally loses it. He instantly turns into a howling mess inside my head. No joy. Bryar Rose, mate! Then he lets out a long series of whining noises. I reply in my mind, "Okay, buddy, I got it." We go, Bryar Rose, mate. I know what he wants. Fine, fine. We'll drive by her place. But that's all we'll do. Better? Mate, mate, mate. When my wolf starts repeating stuff over and over, it means only one thing. There won't be any peace for me tonight. I need to drive by Elle's place, since I know that's where Bryar is staying. There was a cafe across the street from her brownstone. Maybe I can put the Mustang in a lot, grab some Java, and keep an eye on the place. As I contemplate this plan, I must admit, my wolf isn't the only one who's pumped for the idea. Once I'm closer to Bryar, I know I'll feel a lot better, too. And that is the end of Chapter 10, Bryar Rose. Thank you so much for listening, and many blessings. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to Bryar Rose. We're on Chapter 11. I check my watch. Oh, I checked the amazing smartwatch that Ella loaned for me this morning. It's now Friday morning, a little before 10 a.m, and Ella and I are off to our internship at Le Charme. Strolling side by side, we stride along 6th Avenue. Early morning sunshine glints off the skyscrapers as we make a beeline for the Le Charme building. Around us, the city is alive with motion. Someone in a yellow taxi slams on its horn. Up ahead, a young guy plays drums on a row of buckets. A street vendor sells hot dogs for breakfast. I love New York. Turns out, Elle and I slept most of Thursday away. When we finally did wake up, we spent the time watching all movies and avoiding too much talk about Knox and Alec. I told Ella the whole story of Knox, how he saved my life, followed by his nasty behaviour on the drive back. We both agree that he's not boyfriend material. Ella says that Alec is a flirt. He'll never commit to anything, although she did appreciate the back rub and general concern for her well-being. We then spent a good chunk of the time insisting to each other that we aren't into those guys. And we mean it, too. The only reason we're walking over to Le Charme right now is because of the internship, not the guys. Maybe. Ella and I approach the Le Charme entrance. The first floor of the building is all retail space. In other words, it's one huge jewelry store. The upper levels are the business offices, and that's where our internship will take place. Pausing, I scope out our reflections in the outer plate glass windows and smile. Damn, we look good. Both Ella and I are both dressed in black suits and heels. Luckily, Ella had a few Armani suits ready to go in her closet, and the two of us are the same size. I guess she got them for some scam that never took off. As always, I didn't ask too many questions. I elbow Ella and gesture her to the window. Hey, we look totally awesome. Ella glances up from her phone. No questions what she was doing just now. Ever since they met, Ella and Alec have been texting non-stop, supposedly about the internship. Ella says it's all professional. Still, she keeps blushing her face off whenever they text, so I know Alec's flirting with her. By the way, Alex said for us to dress in jeans today, but I found a Le Charme fan site. That said, all the full-time employees wear black suits. Elle and I want to look full-time and badass. We're wearing black suits. Finally, Ella looks up from her phone. What? I said, we look amazing. She pauses and checks out our reflection too. The black outfit sets off her big blue eyes, long blonde hair, and toned legs. In fact, we look a little like sisters. Only my hair is brown. She links arms with me. We're totally ready for this. You got it. Only, I wish I had a briefcase. Why? We don't have anything big to carry. I know that. It's just, I've seen some really cute leather ones that would totally go with this look. They even have little bows on them. Something for next time, I say, as I wonder how exactly Ella plans to get her hands on those particular bags. I've seen them in magazines. They run $4 grand a pop. Again, something I'd rather not know. We pass through the revolving doors and enter the main sales floor of Le Charme. Everything here is pale purple. That's the company's signature colour. A maze of waist-high glass cases stretches out before us. This place is pretty busy with customers, sales clerks, guards, and, oh no, one particular guard. We call him Comb-Over Guy. I grab Ella's shoulders and point her toward a nearby wall. My death grip on her suit makes it clear there's a problem, so Ella doesn't fight me at all. When she speaks, her voice is barely a whisper. What's up? Remember when we came in? Here, over the winter. This time, I took the tiara. No. Emerald ring set. No. Diamond jaguar pin. No, I frown. Do we really hit this place that often? She snaps her fingers. The ruby chalice. That's the one. We were all dressed up for a party, but we ran into that guard we called Comb-Over Guy, and then... I leave it out there, as the memory should be obvious at this point. No, I don't remember. You thought he was about to grab you, so you maced his face off. Oh yeah, Comb-Over Guy. Ella taps her chin. He's here? About 4 yards behind us. Ella's big blue eyes narrow. She's scheming up something, that's for sure. And where do we have to get to? The employer's elevators at the back wall. So, why don't we just walk by him? Because he said that if he ever saw us again, I quote, I'll call the cops first and ask questions later. I lower my voice. We're trying to look cool and make a good impression. Got it. Ella smacks her lips, which means scheming time is over. Here's the plan. You're good with me setting the plan, right? Please. I roll my eyes. You always scheme when we're avoiding trouble. Here's your gift. Right. So this is it. We walk casually toward the back elevators. Not a great plan. He'll see us. Wait, there's more. As we step on by, we just keep our bodies angled towards the wall, like we're looking at the decor or something. That way, we can waltz right over to the elevator bank without showing our faces to anyone. That would be a good plan. It's an awesome plan. But there's nothing on the walls here, Ella. We look totally suspicious. Oh, Ella groans. You'd think the charm would have enough money to buy a freaking picture. Sheesh. Maybe we pretend we're like interior decorators, sizing the walls up for future artwork. Elle and I always pick out personas before we launch into a scheme like this one. You'd be amazed how useful it can be. Perfect. Ella scratches her cheek and discreetly glances over her shoulder. Let's go. We start a slow stroll by the far right wall. Ella makes comments about how some impressionist paintings might look great here. I totally agree with her. My imagination starts to run wild. Is that God following us? I don't want the cops to haul us out of the building on our first day. I mean, chances are it will happen eventually. But I'd like to ease Knox and Alec into the whole mania that is Ella and me. Not that I care what those guys think, of course. At last, we make it to the bank of the elevators. There are 4 sets, all of which go up to the 40th floor. I hit the up button, try to look cool, and ask Ella a question from the corner of my mouth. Is he coming? Oh, yeah. I risk a glance over my shoulder. Sure enough, Comb-Over Guy is hauling ass in our direction, and he does not look happy. Yipes. Nothing like getting maced in the face to make an impression. The dude is within a few yards of us when the nearest elevator opens up. Folks in black suits spill out into the foyer. A second elevator slides open right behind it. Only one guy gets out. There. I point to the second elevator. Let's make like New Yorkers. Right. Now, Ella and I are experts in intricate dance of hip checking and shoulder bumping that makes life in New York bearable. Lucky for us, the Comb-Over Guy isn't as aggressive. He gets caught in the crowd of workers while we slip into the second elevator and hit the button that's marked 10th floor reception. The doors close with a metal hiss. I turn to Ella and give her a high five. That was awesome, girlfriend. We got totally lucky with that second elevator. It's not luck, says Ella. It's human nature. People are sheep. Everyone gets on the first elevator that stops on their floor. They pack in like sardines with a second, totally empty elevator follows right behind. True that. Either way, I'm glad we missed Comb-Over Guy. Me too. The doors open again, and we step off into reception. It's a huge, funky space with high ceilings, low tables, and leather couches. Everything is Le Charme purple. There's no one around except for a reception desk with a long line of people waiting in front of it. Ella marches right past the desk. Whoa there. I pull on Ella's sleeve. We have to visit reception, right? Ella's big blue eyes are blank for a moment before reality kicks in. Yes, of course. Here's what that was all about. Usually, Ella and I are here after hours, so we don't have to bother with checking in. But now we have to play nice with others, so we get in line along with everyone else. I scope out the reception desk and see two girls sitting behind it. They aren't much older than Ella and me. The first girl has cocoa skin, long hair, a name tag that reads Tamara, and the other has exotic almond-shaped eyes and long straight hair. Her name says Cinnamon. They're both helping out the first person in line, who's a middle-aged dude in a blue suit with a goatee. This will be a long wait. We've got about 8 people ahead of us, I'd guess. I turn to Ella. When were we supposed to get here? 10 a.m. I check my watch. It's 5 after. We're running a little late. Should we text him again? Ella scrunches her mouth. I did text him. It still isn't going through. Maybe you turned his phone off or something. Maybe. Ella goes on tiptoe to check the line. It's not moving. Let's give it another couple of minutes and see where we are. Tamara starts gabbing away to the co-worker. There's nothing else to do, so I listen in. Did you hear? She asks. Now, I know the opening salvo into conversation and the way Tamara asked that question while raising her voice. When she said hear, something good is coming. Hear what? Asked Cinnamon. Alec came in early today. Tamara bobs her perfectly coiffed eyebrows up and down. She looks like $1,000,000. Elle and I share a side-eye glance. This look says, maybe, as in maybe they aren't talking about our Alec. How early? Cinnamon slowly pulls out a purple Sharpie and writes the name on a sticker badge with such care. It's like she's moving in slow motion. I know this trick. I use it in tutoring sessions all the time. Ella calls it labour fake. I call it goofing around. Either way, I'm glad it's happening, since it might be giving Ella and me some useful information. Tamara pauses for dramatic effect. 8 a.m. No way, Cinnamon gasps. The vice president of who knows what never softens in before noon. Ella and I share a knowing smile. Vice president of who knows what, check. Sauntering around, check again. Oh, they're talking about our Alec, all right. Now, you might think that receptionists wouldn't spend their time gossiping when there's a long line of people waiting for badges, but I seem the Charme payroll. These ladies are sorely in need of a raise. It's something I plan to bring up to Alec one of these days. So a little gossiping isn't like a makeshift bonus, really, that's all. Tamara sets down her Sharpie. Why was he in so early? The goatee dude pulls on the neck of his dress shirt. Aren't you done with my name badge yet? I have a very important appointment. Tamara glares at him. One moment, sir. I'm almost done. I think I like Tamara. After that, Tamara writes the guy's name. So slowly you can barely tell she's alive. It reminds me of those people who pose like statues in Central Park. Well, Cinnamon looks around, probably to see if any of the Charme employees are milling about. It's just us and the other badge need us, so she keeps on going. He showed up with a specific list of rare and unusual jewels, and he asked that they be brought up from the vaults to his office. Why would he do that? Tamara keeps staring at Cinnamon. The finished name badge held between her fingers. Goatee dude snaps it from her hand and marches off in a huff. The next person in line steps up to the counter, and Tamara holds up her pointer finger. One sec. She lowers her voice. So, What was that all about? I don't know, answered Cinnamon. But he also asked for some fresh flowers to be delivered to his office. And he's having lunch for two being brought in today from Chez Monique, which is only the most romantic restaurant in Manhattan, Tamara Gas. No! Ella grabs my hand so hard she digs her nails into my palm. That's her holy crap move. Alec arranged jewels, flowers, and a fancy lunch, I swear. If Alec isn't doing all this for Ella, I'm going to take a baseball bat and smack in his surfer dude face. Suddenly, the lobby fills with a dozen of stylish men and women all in black suits. Folks stand around tables, lounge by windows, and talk in small groups. Tamara and Cinnamon immediately stiffen in their chairs. It's like someone jammed a cattle prod into their backsides. The two of them start tearing through the line of folks, waiting to get badges. In fact, they go so quickly, it's like watching a movie on fast forward. Seconds later, Alex strides into the lobby. Instantly, it's clear why everyone just so happens to be hanging around right now. The crowd swarms Alec the moment he shows up. As always, he looks very handsome. And Surfer Guy's smiling in his black suit. He's no Knox, but Ella's panting up a storm. Not that either of us care about those boys. The suits start to move in and out of Alec's hearing range. It's like some complex dance as they call out different requests and greetings. Good morning, Mr. LeCharm. Mr. LeCharm, it's Lou in purchasing. I'd like to show you my proposal for Asia Pacific. Lou then whips out proposal, flashes it in Alec's direction. Maybe you could put a good word in with your parents. Hey, Elle. Don't know if you remember me. Paulie from sales. Some of the guys are going out to the club tonight, if you want to go. It's amazing how Alex suddenly ignores all of them. I think it was kind of rude, except his gaze is locked on Ella, and she's blushing her face off. He raises his arm. Ella, Bryar, I was wondering where you were. After sauntering up to the reception desk, Alec gives Tamara and Cinnamon his best surfer-do smile. They don't need badges. Tamara and Cinnamon only stare with their jaws open. Eventually they nod. After that, Alec and Ella go back to staring at each other. But don't actually go anywhere or say anything. Awkward. Finally, Alec leans forward to give Ella a quick peck on the cheek. Good morning. She blushes an even darker shade of red. Hi. I shoot him a wave. Hey, Alec. I'm so excited you're both here. I can't wait to show you a new workspace. I got it all set up. Thanks, Ella frowns. So we're not going to your office? No. You're here for internship, right? Ella's frown deepens. Oh, yeah, sure. Then follow me. Alec leads us through a maze of hallway until we reach a huge storage room. After entering in the longest key code ever, he lets us inside. Everything here is bare concrete, wide filing cabinets to the left-hand wall. Along the right is the biggest computer setup I've ever seen. My fingers itch to get on the keyboard. This thing makes what I had at Ella's cabin look like crap on a cracker. Alec rubs his neck. This room isn't too big, but you know a state in Manhattan. I don't know, Alec. I step around. It's pretty big. 3 of Ella's condos could fit in here. It's not furnished, though. This is where Knox and I have been working on the Papri stuff. At the mention of Knox's name, my stomach decides that now is a great time to do somersaults. Stupid stomach. After that, my mouth comes to this decision that it should move on its own. Is Knox around? Mr. Moody. Alec does another one of those men's catalogue poses where he sets his hands in his pockets while rocking back on his heels. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. Why'd you ask? No reason. Ella shoots me a look that says, I know the reason. I stick out my tongue at her. Just a little bit. Actually, I was wondering if he knew the computer system and where the images of Papri were stored. So there. Alec rubs his chin. He doesn't know this setup better than me. I'll send him over when I see him. Sure, or don't. I really don't care either way. Shut up, mouth. Shut up, mouth. After that, Alex shows me all the Papri images stored on the computer systems. It's pretty sweet. They even have high-speed web connection with badass encryption, so I can download all my old images from the cabin as well. It's perfect. I sit down in a high-back roller chair before the wall of computers and monitors. I can't wait to get started. Great. Alec motions to the far wall. There's a photo station over there. I've got a high-res camera hooked up with a firewire. And to your system, he turns to the wall of long cabinets. All the new papri are in the first 4 cabinets. My brows lift. That may have just come in? Well, let's just say they're new to you. You'll find them on your hard drive marked with MB on the file name. I'm not following. NB? Alec winces. No, Bryar. Wait. What? I thought I got all your shipments. Not exactly, says Alec. I always got photo evidence before I made my final payment for Papri. I've been letting you find all the shipments that I was sure Knox and I couldn't decipher. You're kind of a dick. I set my fist on my hip. You know that, right? His surfer guy grin is back. It's one of my best qualities. I'm so not commenting on that one. Instead, I sit down before my new supercomputer and I click through the MB folders on my desktop. My eyes widen so much, I'm surprised they're still in my head. This is like seeing another half of a sheet in my treasured 5-foot-long papri puzzle, only with a bunch of missing pieces filled in. Wow, these are amazing. I can already see a few scraps that will really help. Great. Alec turns to Ella. And as for you, he rakes his hand through his wavy blonde hair. There's some stuff I want you to see in my... He opens his mouth, but no words come out. Ella smiles sweetly. That really is one of your best faces. Yes. This might seem over the top, but maybe you could come to my... Enough already. At this rate, it will take them an hour to leave, and I have Papri to investigate. Why don't you two go to Alex's office? Yes, Alex nails. I mean, if that's all right with you, Ella. You see, I found some more jewellery pieces that might be stolen. I thought you might want to take a look. Sure, I'd like that. Alec beams. Good. They do that thing again where they stare at each other without moving. I've just about had it at this point, and I point towards the door. The exit is that way. Now, I'd worry about my best friend and Alec, who's a warden player, and clearly not boyfriend material, but I happen to know for a fact that she's not interested in him at all, just like I don't care about Knox. So there. At last, Alec and Ella leave the room. I dive into my papri work. Hours fly by. At some point, my stomach starts growling, but I ignore it. The information I'm turning up is simply amazing, and Alec is right about there being a pattern to the glyphs. If you use a repeating sequence of choosing every 4th symbol, you come up with an entirely different set of messages. My pulse speeds as I link together my first sentences from this hidden code. I'm using this magic. You will be able to achieve eternal life by coming I stare at the glyph. That can't be right. Nope. It's right. I mean, your body can achieve youth, eternal youth by becoming a mummy? Sort of. I scrubbed my hands over my face. This must be a mistake. Sure, in ancient Egypt it was believed that mummies gave the spirit a place to return, but that was only the spirit. No one ever thought the body actually stayed alive. I look at the glyphs again, retranslate. Still says the same thing. I lean back in my chair, ready to get up for a little while and take a break. There has to be a snack machine around here somewhere. That's when the small hairs on my neck prickle with awareness. Someone's here. I slowly swivel in my roller chair, and there he is, Knox. He looks badass in blue jeans, boots, and a black t-shirt. I wave, which is dumb, but I can't think of anything else to do. Hey, how long have you been watching me? A while. You look too engrossed for me to bug you. He holds his hands up, with his palms forward. I'm not a stalker, I swear. I believe you. Maybe. With that, my head gets a little swoony, which means one of my attacks is coming on. Can you excuse me for a minute? Sure. I head for the nearest bathroom at warp speed. Luckily there's one in the workroom, so I don't have to go outside. Meander the halls and then figure out that the complex key code to get back in here. Once I'm safe inside the ladies' room, I pull out my inhaler, take about a dozen deep puffs of medicine. Then I fix my lip gloss, fluff my hair, and try not to look like I just freaked out because Knox walked into the room. The whole experience takes less than 5 minutes, after which time I'm back at my work chair, trying to look casual. So, where did you stop by? First, to apologise for being an ass. Again. He rubs a scruff along his chin. You drive my wolf a little crazy. I do? The questions come out as I speak, so I force my voice down. I do? Is that normal? Not for me. But it's cool, I'm getting the hang of it. It gives me a lopsided smile that melts my insides. I also came here to show you the truth about the denarii. The truth? Remember, I promised you in the car ride back from the Arondax? Yes. I remember. I was freaking out too much to access my memories. That's why he came by. He tilts his head. A move I've seen him do before. But now I'm thinking that may have been a bad idea. Is something wrong with your wolf? Why do you ask? When you tilted your head in the car, it was because your wolf was talking to you. Not that I memorize every little thing you do or anything. Yeah, about that. Knox grits his teeth. I need to change. I hop to my feet. Now? This very minute? Yeah. Knox laces his fingers behind his neck. My wolf wants to see you. Know that you're safe. It's how we shifters are. Touch is really important. Touching? Yeah. If I don't change now, I'll need to go. Knox takes a few steps away. I step in his path. No. You can stay. I walk towards the door. I'll wait outside. No. Knox winces with pain. No. Wolf wants you here. Just... He keeps wincing and not talking, so I decide to offer up a plan. How about this? I'll turn my back. I turn myself towards the computer monitors, but I can still see some of Knox's reflection. Oops, for some reason, I decide not to share that fact. We're all good. That works, thanks. Oh, what about the door? Only Alec has the key code, and he's seen everything before. After that, I hear the swish of fabric and the hum of a zipper opening, and yes, I see lots of muscly muscles reflected in the computer monitor. I am a very bad person. Suddenly, Knox haunches over. Loud cracks sound. I wince with sympathy. Those are his bones breaking and taking a new form. Yow. The reflections in the computer monitor disappear. A few seconds later, something wet nudges my hand. Looking down, I see a huge black wolf at my side. His upper haunches reach my shoulders. His muzzle is angled low to touch my palm. The scent I smelled before, sandalwood and musk, becomes overpowering in its yuminess. I gently stroke along the wolf's neck. Aren't you beautiful? Wolf Knox wags his tail. So I guess I'm doing something right. I didn't get a good look at you when you were killing Madame. Mentioning the attack from Madame seemed to set off Wolf Knox's protective instincts. He prowls around me in a circle before setting his paws on my shoulders. They're as big as dinner plates and super heavy. After that, Wolf Knox moves in to nuzzle my cheek. A sense of warmth blossoms through my chest. On reflex, I stroke Wolf Knox's fur. It's both feather soft and warm. There we are. My voice is gentle. I'm safe. Wolf Knox muzzles me some more, and we stay like that for a while. A sense of contentment washes through me, like nothing I've ever felt before. Warmth pulses through my veins. Our eyes meet, and Wolf Knox's irises turn from gold to blue. I don't know why, but I feel certain that's a good thing. I pat his neck again. Better now? In reply, Wolf Knox nuzzles my neck one last time and turns away. The crack of bones sounds again. His body contorts at painful angles. Some little part of me knows that Knox is changing back into his human form, and I turn away. However, that little insight isn't making it from my cerebral cortex to any other part of my body. I can only stand around and watch him make the change. Knox's limbs stretch and shrink, the fur disappears and his bones realign. I thought the sight would be frightening, but it's oddly beautiful. Within a few seconds, Knox is crouched on the floor. I can see his wide shoulders and his sculpted muscles of the back legs. When he looks up, his blue eyes lock with mine. Thanks for seeing my wolf. You're welcome. Your wolf is sweet. He likes you too. A long pause follows, in which I try not to keep staring at how ripped Knox is. I'm not sure I do a good job at that. Knox is the one who breaks the silence. Hey, He looks at me as if the rest of his thought is obvious. You gotta what? Change, Bryar? My mind isn't working so well for some reason. Too many muscles, maybe. You want to change into a wolf again? No, into my clothes. A sly look brightens the hard lines of his face. So unless you want to watch... I got it, no problem. I quickly turn around. A swish of fabric and more zipper noises follow. This time, I'm not standing in the right position for the monitors to let me cheat and take a peep. Though, that shouldn't make me as sad as it does. Okay, I'm ready. Really? It's been a few seconds. I turn around. Sure enough, Nox is totally dressed. I guess being a werewolf makes you an expert at this kind of situation. So, now you get the answers I promised you, yeah? I hug my elbows. The truth about the denarii, that's the stuff. It's easier if I show you than tell you. Are you sure you want to do this? Not at all. Still, there is something I need to know. So I mentally pull up my big curl panties and meet Nox's gaze head on. Absolutely. Then let's go. As Nox and I head out the door, I get the feeling that I'm passing across a different kind of threshold. Behind me, there is Bryar Rose, who didn't know about the denarii, didn't know who they really were. In the near future, there will be Bryar the badass, who has faced something terrible. I force my breathing to slow. I can do this. I have to. And that's the end of chapter 11 of Bryar Rose. Thank you for listening, and many blessings.